Welcome to Raw Online. Today's topic I'm going to be teaching about occupational lung diseases. So as you all know, there are many disorders in occupational lung diseases which includes silicosis, coal workers pneumoconiosis, berylliosis. So let's discuss about these occupational lung diseases. Occupational lung disorders has been defined as diseases of the lung arising out of or in course of employment. So as lungs are the organs which is connected to the environment, water we breathe because of the occupation, it affects the lungs. And Ramasini was the father of the occupation who first described breathlessness among handlers of grains. So this is a picture where the handlers of grains is seen, and this was observed in 1713. And there are determinants of inhalational exposure. So there are particles which is more than 10 to 15 micrometer in diameter which does not penetrate beyond the nose and throat. And depending upon the size of the particles and based on the character and source of these particles, we divide them into three fractions. So first we have the coarse mode fraction. In coarse mode fraction, we have particle size of 2.5 to 10 micrometer which contain crystal elements such as silica, aluminium and iron. Mostly these deposit in the tracheobronchial tree. And also we have the fine mode fraction. In this, the important part is it is less than 2.5 micrometer, and this is carried to the lower airways. So we saw coarse mode fraction particles of higher size and they deposit in the tracheobronchial tree, whereas fine mode fraction, their particle size is less than 2.5 micrometer and they are carried to the lower airways and they get deposited there. So fine particles are created by burning of fossil fuels or higher temperature industrial process, gases and fumes. And then third, we have the ultrafine fraction which is less than 0.1 micrometer in size and they deposit in the lung. And these also come in contact with the alveolar walls. However, particles of this size range may penetrate into the circulation and be carried to the extrapulmonar sites. So next we have the deposition and clearance of the particles in lung. The harmfulness of any substance depends upon its toxicity and the ability to penetrate to the site which can exert its effects and the amount retained in the lung. So any particle we take, either silica particle or aluminium or iron dust, anything which we take, it all depends upon the amount it can penetrate to the site and also about the effects it causes. So this penetration depends upon the ability of the particle to overcome the physical forces. What are the physical forces which come in contact with the walls of the airways are sedimentation, impaction, interception and diffusion and precipitation. So these are the physical forces which comes in contact with the walls of the airway with the particle. And there is the highest rate of alveolar deposition which occurs in the particle size which is 0.02 to 0.06 millimeter, which is 20 to 60 nanometer. Once deposited in the respiratory tract, the fate of the particle depends on the body's clearance mechanisms and its ability to resist them. So once the particle is deposited, some get cleared by the mucociliary clearance, whereas some it gets deposited and it gets carried to the blood, to the pulmonary circulation. So we are going to see about that. So this is the particle aerodynamic diameter, where this black includes oral deposit which we can see in the fractional deposition of 0.8 to 1. And then here, all these. So next we can see the throat deposit. Throat deposit majority happens within the 0.6 to 0.8 fraction deposition. Then we have the tracheobronchial deposit which is this part. This is tracheobronchial deposit, and then we have the alveolar zone deposit which is this part. So if you see alveolar deposit, mostly it is of the diameter which includes 0.2 to 0.6. So mostly the diameter is very fractional composition. So the large particles deposited in the airways are generally cleared within 24 hours by the mucociliary mechanism, like the tracheobronchial tree which has the mucociliary clearance. So by that the large particles get cleared. Though some may be prolonged if the airways are damaged by cigarette smoke. So in case of any occupational lung disease or COPD or any cigarette smoke or fume inhalation, it takes a longer time. And these particles are either coughed up or swallowed. So this is very important. And the particles reaching the acinus are beyond the region of cilia and production of mucus and are cleared much more slowly. So large particles get deposited in the tracheobronchial tree and they get cleared by the mucociliary clearance. Whereas the particles which are smaller, they reach the acinus, and beyond the region of cilia and the production of mucus, it takes very slow to get cleared. So this deposition occurs predominantly at bifurcation of the alveolar duct. So the mechanism of particle removal involves ingestion by the alveolar macrophages or type 1 alveolar epithelial cells.